Hello, everyone. I know so many of you are sitting at home or maybe at work in total fear around this pandemic. But I want to be a ray of light for you, a ray of hope. And in today's Transformational Tuesday, we're going to be exploring what I believe are the three gifts, and they all start with C, the three gifts of the coronavirus. But before we do that, I want to share with you something that I haven't heard anyone talk about, which is, what does corona mean? And so before this call, I jumped online and looked up corona, and here's what I found. Corona, based on astronomy, it is the rarefied gases that are found to envelope the sun and other stars. The sun's corona is normally visible only during a total solar eclipse, when it is seen as an irregularly shaped pearly glow surrounding the darkened disk of the moon. And I find that so interesting. It's also an anatomy. It's the part of the body resembling or likened to a crown. So, when I read that, the first thing that came to mind is this idea of you can only see this corona, this light that extends beyond on the outside of the sun when there is a total, what did I say? A total, not a partial, but a total solar eclipse where the moon blocks the sun. And why is this important to you and to us? Is because I believe that in this time of darkness, in this time of crisis, the world is stopping. I mean, people are being laid off. I know there are families that are scared with symptoms of the virus. There are families that have been diagnosed. People have been diagnosed. People are dying. And yet I always know that life is happening for us and not to us. You might want to write that down. Life is happening for us, not to us. And so I think there's a bigger picture here. There must be something. There must be some silver linings. There must be the golden light in the darkness. And so what I believe is that as the world is coming, halting to a stop, and it's only when we stop that we begin to turn inward and ask different questions. So the first gift that I believe the coronavirus is giving us, the light amongst the darkness, the first C is creativity. And the reason I say that is because this is a time where we need to get really creative. We need to come together as a community and work through challenges that we've never been faced with. Yesterday I was listening to the news and they were sharing how Roche, who is making the corona testing for us, it's a private company, and they were given the task of really amping up the amount of tests that they could create and provide, and also making the test, I guess, easier to take or a faster turnaround. And so they were brought up against traditional challenges, and they had to get really creative. And what would normally take maybe weeks or even months, they were able to accomplish in a very short amount of time. So those scientists and engineers had to get really creative. And so I believe this is a time creativity is being, through the pressure of all the changes, creativity must spark. Sometimes it's under the stress that we are able to create things that we never thought was possible. I mean, I think about all the engineers that were forced to figure out how to bring the shuttle back into the Earth, in the Earth's atmosphere. And again, it was through time and a time crunch that creativity was sparked. I also learned that during the bubonic plague, Shakespeare wrote, he was quarantined, and he wrote King Lear. So I ask you where creativity could be moving in your life as you are quarantined at home. Where are you using your creativity? This is the time when we're talking about personal growth and commitment in personal growth, two things always come up for people. They'll say, I don't have the time, or I don't have the resources or the money. And so many of you are at home with more time in your home with not a whole lot to do, because some people can't work from home. And we have all of this time now to be still. What will you do with this time? Will you start writing that book that you always wanted to write? Are you going to start a new business? What are you going to do? Are you going to start writing poetry again, writing music? Allow this time of inward reflection. You have time now that often you say that you don't have. So now for many of you, this I don't have enough time, that it is now you do have time. Many of us might be quarantined for weeks, maybe even months. And so this old excuse of I don't have the time no longer is true. So I invite you to step into your creative expression during this time. So that is the first gift, the gift of creativity. What will you create? Are you, spend that time journaling and writing and getting creative, painting, whatever it is. The second gift is the gift of community. And so that might seem kind of strange, knowing that we are quarantined. And yet I am seeing community showing up in so many ways. I'm seeing posts in my local online community of offerings of delivering food or money. We've gotten several phone calls from the school system, and they've put together an opportunity for families that are in need of food, a place that they can go and pick up food. And so we get to step into community maybe in a different way. Maybe we can't right now gather in person. But I want you to think about how can you or how could you impact your community? How can you, which is the third gift, the gift of connection. So this is a gift. I want you to consider connecting with yourself first, spending the time in meditation. If you are a single person living alone, take the time to turn inward. What's most important to you? What could you be doing to calm the soul? What new stress management skills could you learn? I mean, the online presence and access that we have, there are online courses and communities that maybe you've not tapped into. Again, maybe you said you didn't have time. So community, I really want you to consider community and also the inner connection. Turn inward. So this returning of home can really be the home that you reside in, taking really good care of yourself, connecting to yourself. And for those who are quarantined with others, what a beautiful opportunity to connect with your loved ones, to really learn more about what has truly been going on in their lives. I mean, we have been living a life, many people have been living a life of parallel lives, couples and families, just like staying in the lane and not connecting. And this is truly a time to connect and to really learn more about what is on your partner's heart. Or maybe you have time quarantined with your mother or your father or your grandparents. You know, we only have so much time on this earth, so let's use this time to truly connect to yourself, connect to your dreams, connect to those you love. If you can't connect physically because you're quarantined in your home by yourself, then connect through the phone, through Zoom, through forums. Let's connect in ways and get creative of how we can really connect. So I believe that these are the three gifts this crisis has brought us, if you're willing to receive those gifts. So the first gift, as I said, is the gift of creativity. What are you willing to do to get creative again in your life? Number two, the gift of community. How will you show up for your community? How can you recommit to having a community in your life? And then the third gift is the gift of connection. The gift of connection is the gift to the connection of yourself. You know, what brings you passion? What do you love? What do you love about your life? And if you're not loving your life, what could you love about your life? What changes could you make during this time of quarantine? So connect with self, connect with those that you love like never before, and receive these 3 gifts. Allow this darkness, like the total eclipse. Corona, as I said, means the crown. It's the light around the darkness. It is the light around a full eclipse. So allow this light to shine unto you and step outside of victimhood and choose your life as a gift every single day. I'm Dr. Kelly Martin Schuh, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, and dating and relationship coach for women. And you can join me during this quarantine at 4:30 on Mountain Time on Tuesdays. And be sure to like the page. And hello, Kate, we are signing off. Be sure to like the page, send us hearts, and we will see you next Tuesday. Signing off, Dr. Kelly Schuh. Thanks.